So a lot of people are having trouble setting up influencer accounts to earn on-site commissions. Well, today we demystify the whole thing and get down and dirty and show you exactly what you need to do in order to get those on-site commissions unlocked. So I'm definitely fired up to share this with you. I hope you're fired up. Let's do this. Right, so before we jump into my screen share, let me just say, if you have not been approved for influencer, then this is the video for you. In addition to that, I do have my email below in the description box in case you do want my guide that is full of data on what it takes to get approved for the Amazon influencer program. But right now, we're just gonna straight up talk about it. So I'm gonna share my screen with you and we're gonna talk about how to set up an influencer account in order to get the good old earns commissions, the little designation that you'll get if you pass through 2 phases. So remember, influencer and getting approved for influencer is all about 2 phases. Phase 1 is pretty much a snap to get into, and I'll kind of go over some of the things that you should be looking for and why I myself wouldn't even get approved if I tried out for influencer. All right, so I'm just gonna jump into a random Instagram because I'm not even logged into my own Instagram because I rarely use Instagram, so I personally could not use it. But just remember, before I even jump into this, that getting into influencer involves passing 2 phases. We're first gonna talk about phase 1. That is the easiest one to get into, and then the second half of the video we'll spend talking about phase 2 and some tips and tricks that'll work for that. But first things first, I'm in a random Instagram, and this Instagram would not have worked to get approved for phase 1, and I'll tell you why. Because getting approved for phase 1 is as simple as, and the easiest route to get into it is Instagram. So first things first, you gotta have an Instagram account that has some age on it. So this one here, how do you tell what age is, Liz? Well, it's pretty easy. You go to the oldest post. In this case, it's this one, and it'll tell you what date this particular photo was published. Now, if it's maybe 3 to 4 years old, even 2 years old, that should give it a thumbs up. You should be good. Even a year old will work. That's the first thing that your Instagram has to count. The second your Instagram account has to have, the second thing is you got to have at least 30 posts. So if we look here, it has exactly 32 posts. This would definitely qualify with the 30 post rule. And if it has a little less, a little more, you're good. Don't get too technical and like, oh, Liz said that I had to have exactly 30.0001 posts. No, we're not that nerdy and shit. We just need 30, give or take a few, right? And the final factor that they look for with an Instagram account is, it's actually 2. It's making sure that the Instagram looks personalized. So it should have a bunch of pictures of you on there. This one has cars. It's not going to work unless it's person branded. So what I mean by that is you got to have your mug on there. It doesn't matter if you like it or you love it or you hate it. Any one of those, they got to work. It's got to be you on here. And then the final piece is you got to have at least what I've seen, the least amount that I've seen that has gotten approved is 4,500, and I just forgot there for a split second, but I usually recommend you just get 5,000. Does 5,000 guarantee you get in? No, absolutely not. For sure, 7,500 means that you'll get in, but those followers have got to be active followers. So what does that usually cost? We usually pay for 5,000 followers, active followers, give or take 150 and about 200 for the 7,500. That's what it usually costs us. If you need those, just send me an email below and I'll make sure to get you in with those. So that's it for phase 1. Phase 2 is a little bit more difficult. It requires you to upload 3 videos that will be seen as these test videos. They're almost audition videos to see if you qualify for the program, see how well you speak on camera, and they just want to have an overall look at your profile, but they still go back and look at whatever it is that you use social media wise to get in. So in this case, if she had used Instagram, there's no way she could have gotten in with that because she's only got 126 followers. But some of her other social media outlets do have quite a bit of followers, and so for that reason she did get in. So let's talk about how to get into phase 2 and how to make it look like you know what you're doing so that you do get approved. First things first, I have a list here of things that you've got to check and double check to make sure you get in. But the main thing is when you create this, you want to make sure you put a banner and a photo. So again, it's got to be you. They want to see your mug. They want to see your face. You should be happy because there's somebody else other than your mother that would like to see your face, and they're called Amazon, not your wife. You don't have to worry about your wife thinks, your girlfriend, your kids, anyone else, your dog. As long as it's Amazon and your mother, they like to see your face. And in some cases, your mother doesn't like to see it. But the second thing is put a little bio here. And then finally, you want to connect all of your social media handles regardless of the number of followers. Here she's got her YouTube, which I believe she has about 5,000 followers, which is terrific. That was probably the avenue she used to get in. She's also got her TikTok, which hardly has any, and Instagram hardly has any, nor does Facebook. So it was the YouTube, I was like picking Instagram, that worked for her to begin with. Finally, there's a couple other things that you want to look at and do. And I'll give you a couple tips on how to make the videos in a second, but let's talk about the other things that they like to look at. These were her first 3 videos that she uploaded. You'll notice that she has thumbnails on them. So you want to make sure that they do show thumbnails. That way Amazon sees you put the extra effort to get in. That's what they want to see. They want to see an influencer, and an influencer would take extra steps to make it look sexier. And then you want to do idea list. Here she put several idea lists together. She's got a total of about 8 idea lists, each having 10 products or more that she enjoys as an influencer and thus recommends it to you. So her portfolio is quite populated. A couple other tips for the videos themselves. When you do film them, you want to film them like this guy does. You want to film them with nothing else around. It's just basically a video of him straight up showing the product and then a simple background, and all he's talking about is the product. There's no clutter in the background, there's no packaging in the background, there's nothing distracting other than the product and the background itself, which is a plain brown background. And then they should be products that can be demonstrated, are the ones that Amazon likes best. But if you can't demonstrate the product, just talk about the benefits, the things you like about the product, and so forth. And you want to make sure they're at least 1 minute long. And finally, the 2 last steps that I can show you that I've really shown to help people get in is show your face. Get on the video, show your face. If you don't like showing your face, after they approve those, remove those. Don't let anybody ever see it other than the approval specialist. It's not like the approval specialist is going to go and talk shit about you because your hair was sticking up. Make sure you look clean, make sure you look neat, and make sure you're well spoken. Try not to curse, try not to say like, or pause very often. Just try to make sure that you talk about how you use the product, and if you own the product, then you should be quite effective at being able to tell all the characteristics and benefits of the product. And then finally, only make 3 videos. Don't try to go above and beyond until they give you the thumbs up with on-site commissions, because if you fudge up those videos, you're gonna fudge up all the rest of them. Don't give them too many videos to look at, because you don't want them to look at more than just 3. So take 3, give 3, and put your best shot in those, and that's it. After you do all those things, if you do a good job, you should be approved to phase 1, and you should be in to earn on-site commission. So if you want to learn more about the data that it takes for you to get approved, remember my email is below to get that guide. Other than that, questions and comments go below. I always personally answer those, and I'll see you guys next time.